If you're anything like me, 2 times a year, you're gonna have a really hard time telling your relatives what it is that you want for your birthday or Christmas. I don't personally want anything. I buy the things that I want throughout the year, and if I don't, then I don't, and I forget that I wanted that thing in the first place. New York Times has provided us 54 gifts for people who have everything. I don't have everything, I have the things I need. Up first is the Sly Time Teller. This just seems more difficult than you really need it to be. If I want to tell the time, I want to be able to look at the time and tell it. I don't want to have to solve a word problem, even if it does fit the aesthetic of whatever room I choose to put a clock into. But I can also decide that by picking a different clock that doesn't quiz me. Up next is Chill Design. I drink from time to time, and this might just be my lack of caviar, lobster, and other prawn-shaped delicacies, but I don't really understand the whole moving ice from one room to the other room to put a bottle into. That feels like a lot more work than it needs to be. You could just put it in the refrigerator. I have one, you have one. Let's not pretend that we need to have ice on tap. It's a waste of water. A toy of them. Please don't do this. This is a step above what a voodoo doll would be for me. It bothers me mostly because I know that you have to sit there at the website with a photo of me trying to figure out what I look like in Funko Pop form, and that just feels disrespectful inherently, and I don't want you to do that. Also, I do have a photo of my wife and I. I do know what I look like. I don't think I want to see it with weird black beady eyes. A lifetime of front pages. My disdain for the New York Times is probably going to shine through a little bit, but why would you do that? That's not a good gift for anyone, even if they do like the New York Times. Don't buy it. Revitalized Visage. I think that red light therapy is a scam, despite all of the science that it apparently has. I wouldn't do it. Not like in a, I'm going to avoid it at any cost. It's not like I'm going to avoid going in front of a red light. But I feel like you'll know what I mean. It feels like ice baths and derma rollers. There's probably some science here, but it's so marginal that it doesn't do anything. Just wash your face. That's not that hard. We got the Knee Saver. Please allow me in my withering body to determine what assistive technologies I need at what point on my own terms. There's something that brings me immeasurable shame to have someone purchase assistive things for me. Like, I understand that my body is broken, but I respect and appreciate that you thought of me and wanted to make my life easier, but I'm gonna feel a little bit worse. I'll also probably appreciate it. Oh, we got Camera Bird Feeder. It says for the birds here, but Camera Bird Feeder. I'm not gonna say that it's not cool, because I do like birds, but I do want you to look me in the eyes and tell me that you know what window you're gonna put this thing into. Because my wife and I bought a window bird feeder, and we had to work it out on what window it actually attracts birds into, because apparently they care a lot about where it's positioned. Otherwise, they just won't use it. We got Better Burgers. This is kind of in here because of the plethora of kitchen devices that serve one function and one function really only. Because also, how many smash burgers are you consuming in a year to be able to use this thing without dust collecting on it in between uses? If the answer is as high as it needs to be for this to be useful, try something else. As a matter of fact, let me go grab like a good kitchen gadget. This is a good gift. It is a Pampered Chef item, and I have choice words about them. But this thing is genuinely useful because not only do I use it in the kitchen on jars that I can't open, but also there is recently a paint can that I couldn't like twist the lid off of because it had been probably a year since I opened it last. And this thing got it. First try. That's worth putting in a drawer. You know, you don't want something that's gonna sit there and do nothing. This one's called Smart Storage. I wouldn't purchase this for anybody unless they're explicitly asking for it and they also have a dishwasher. I can kind of wrap my brain around how I would get all of the cracks and crevices out of it, but drying it also isn't gonna be easy. It's gonna suck. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like I don't want something that is gonna sit on a drying rack a lot of the time. Next up is Gourmet Salt. No, don't purchase this. Not only do we consume too much salt day to day, but we should also remember what else really likes salt. Moisture. And that thing is gonna clump up until you just have handfuls of mineral that aren't exactly useful. Superior scooping. I do agree that this is a good gift to buy. I think I actually own one still. As a matter of fact, I do own one. And it's cool because there's water in it. I don't know if you can hear it. That do anything for you? There's water in this thing that heats up when you're holding it in your hand so that this part actually gets warmer and then you can scoop whatever it is that you're trying to get. And that's pretty cool. Silkier Sleep. I think that this is a good buy if you have long hair, and for the 20% of you that is my audience, do consider purchasing it because you're going to be able to get your hair to last longer in between like you washing it. It's not going to disrupt where your hair sits throughout the night as much as a traditional pillowcase would. But also, look at the price tag. I don't want to purchase that for most people. But if you're looking to do something good for this holiday season, do consider subscribing, because the 97% of you that haven't, you should. A little life upgrader. Are you really making peanut butter this often? Especially peanut butter that you have to churn again? That doesn't seem like a real gift. That doesn't seem like a person that exists. Subversive safekeeping. I had to do that take so many times. What kind of life are you living where you need to have fake books around so that you can store something secretive? Do you have a family jewel that, like, a crime syndicate is trying to steal from you? Or a gold diadem? It's a King in Yellow reference for the nerds that made it this far. But genuinely, you don't need that. You do that because it's cool. Also, the next time that you have someone over, you're gonna be like, you see that book right there? Not a real book. That's not a good gift. Good vintage sweats. I like sweatpants. I'm probably going to put some on after this. But I'm not going to sit here while I'm standing. I'm not going to stand here and lie to you saying that you should spend a car payment on sweatpants. You can buy some good ones for probably $50 total. That's just actually crazy. Grim Reaper Lawn Care. I think it's pretty cool to own a scythe. It's probably going to hang out in a garage most of its life, because you're going to use it one time, realize you have to like sharpen it a bunch of times as you're using it. You know what's cooler than having a scythe? Having 10 toes at the beginning of your lawn care session and at the end. One clean swipe, dude. That's kind of all you need. And if your goal is to freak out the neighbors while you're doing lawn stuff, you have way easier options than doing that. Wear something weird. I don't know what the weird thing could be, but you could do something different. It doesn't involve an excessively large blade. Old school camera. I think that this is a good idea. I like film photos more than digital photos, mostly because it's not going to come out great. You don't need it to come out great. When you're looking back on photos in a photo album, you're not going, that was a good quality photo. It's more of the memory that you have associated with that photo, and you can very easily do that. You can experience more of whatever you have going on by only limiting yourself to the 24 frames that you get in a roll of film. I think that's just a better way of experiencing things. To each their own. Nothing beats a photo like having Kodak memories in my mind. We have refined writing. I'm a pen guy myself. I got this one for Christmas last year. You know what's better than a $50 pen? The pens that you can get at the Dollar General, the G2 Pilot pens. You get like 4 of them for, I think, $4. And those are one of the best pens that you could probably get ever. I love them. They're great. Smear a little bit, but that's good. You get a little variation in the way that you read things. You have the cutest vessel. Boo! Not a good mug. Not a good mug. Awful handle. Don't like that. It's not a good mug. If you're buying somebody a mug, I need you to take a personal inventory real quick. Remember the last time that you bought somebody a mug. Was it the person that you're considering buying this weird mug for? Maybe don't buy them another one. I have a lot. There's a point where I moved and I had to throw away so many mugs because we just weren't using them. I have 2 mugs that I use consistently. They're my favorite mugs. You're not really ever gonna need more than 2 mugs because you're gonna do your dishes enough. That's your New Year's resolution, and you're not gonna need them. I guess you can also put this one on the stove, but I do appreciate you for getting to the end of this video. I have not been posting long form content often, but I would like to try to keep doing that and just interact with this video in some way. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you again.